open the ears of everyone in this room and help them to take this important lesson and apply it to their own lives. In your name, amen. What does it mean to finish? Dictionary.com defines the word finish as a verb, a word that implies action, stating that it means to bring something to an end or to completion. Many times, we begin so many projects that we only have the time to complete a few of them. This is okay most of the time, because nothing bad is going to happen if we fail to finish a puzzle or a painting. The problem comes when we fail to persevere and accomplish the most important assignment in life, obeying the Great Commission by telling others the amazing news of God's grace. Matthew 28:19 through 20 says, "Therefore go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything that I have commanded you. And surely I am with you always to the very end of the age." These were Jesus' last words before leaving earth. So let's say that your best friend was moving away to a different country. You had spent several years together and had grown very close through experiencing life and learning valuable lessons together as a team. Now it was the last time you would ever see your friend again. After she hugs you goodbye, she begins to say one last thing. Would you start talking about the newest movie or the latest fashion of jeans? Of course not. You would listen to every word that she said. You would listen like your life depended on it, and you would do whatever she said. In comparison, we call Jesus our best friend. Yet do we really listen and obey to one of the most important commands he ever gave? We talk about finishing the race and fighting the good fight, but when's the last time we ever took action? It's time to wake up. There are 3 things that we must do in order to obey this important command. 1, go. 2, baptize. 3, teach. The first thing we must do in order to obey this command is to go and make disciples of all nations. Sometimes when people read this verse, they assume that the only ones who can obey it are missionaries who serve in foreign places. But in reality, anybody living on this earth can fulfill the call. It's as simple as telling your friends at school the amazing news of God's grace and telling them that God is longing to save them. The second thing we must do in order to obey this command is to baptize these disciples that have come to know Christ because of our own testimony. Bring your newly saved friends to church. Introduce them to your pastor. Get them involved in worship. Help them understand the sermons. Explain that the next step in their walk with God is to be baptized, and that they can do this whenever your church next offers it. Explain that baptism is their public announcement of and commitment to their newfound faith in Jesus. The third and final step we must take to finish the task that Jesus gave us is to teach these new disciples to obey Jesus' commands. This is a lengthy process that will take perseverance on your part. So enlist the help of other strong Christians that you know. The goal is to teach these new disciples about the foundation of their faith, so that not only will they grow in their relationship with God, but they will also begin to go and disciple others. Remember that Jesus promised that he would always be with you. When you obey his commands to go and make disciples of all nations, baptize them in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and teach these new disciples to obey Christ's commands, you can be sure that God will be with you every step of the way as you work to finish the greatest assignment ever given. So what are you waiting for? Let's get to work.